MetroNews television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Happy Friday, meteorologist Todd Nelson here with your local forecast. We have that flood watch in place through 8 a.m. Saturday. To the west here, areas of very heavy rain and excessive runoff, but an unsettled weekend. But more importantly, we are picking up some much needed rain. The latest drought monitor released this Thursday showing that there is a pretty large chunk of West Virginia under that severe risk, even an extreme risk. Or at least extreme drought over parts of the Panhandle. There's our flood watch through 8 a.m. Saturday. This is over the next 7 days now. We could be talking about 1 to maybe even close to 3 inches of rain in some spots. So again, through our Friday afternoon and evening, more widely scattered showers and storms. Again, that flood watch in place through 8 a.m. Saturday to the west with that locally heavy rain. Time now for a Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home and just about every city expecting some unsettled weather. Precipitation through Sunday could be approaching an inch plus from Panhandle to Panhandle. Saturday morning waking up to the 50s and temperatures into the 60s and 70s. As we travel to the east, again, excessive rainfall is possible with some 1+ inch total amounts through Sunday. 40s for those overnight lows, daytime highs into the 50s, so definitely cooler. As we travel to the south and west, you can see those precip amounts approaching an inch, 50s and 60s overnight with daytime highs Saturday approaching 80 to the south and west near Ripley and Spencer, and then farther south and west, again, Huntington, Wayne, Williamson, maybe an inch to nearly 2 inches with those overnight lows into the 50s and 60s as well. Madison, 80, same for Charleston. Here's our extended forecast, keeping the unsettled weather in place this upcoming weekend. And again, that much needed rain continues as we slide into next week, hopefully helping out with the drought situation.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
5, 3.
Rag 57! Rag 57! Hot, hot!
I don't believe what I just saw!
Bill McKenzie kicks a 38-yard field goal on the final play of the football game.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
It is a great night to be a Mountaineer wherever you may be.
From the home of the state's land-grant institution, inside the Health Plan Studios, in the Dale B. Miller Building in Morgantown, it's time for the state's most listened-to sports talk show. This is the CityNet Statewide Sportsline. CityNet, cybersecurity experts for the digital age. And now, across the state of West Virginia and beyond, Sportsline is on the air.
Sportsline for Friday. It is the CityNet Statewide Sportsline. Thanks for joining us. We've got a lot to do tonight. Glenville State's softball team on to the Division II College World Series. The state track and field championship meet got underway. It's rained all day, pretty much, but we'll check in with Joe Brocato and see what they got done down there. We say good evening to Greg Hunter and Brad Howe.
Good evening.
Hi, everyone.
Busy sports day.
It is a busy sports day. Speaking of that, let's head to Arizona. Surprise, Arizona. As Kevin Kinder with the Blue and Gold News checks in prior to West Virginia's semifinal round game tonight against Arizona State. And Kevin, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you all. I feel honored that I'm a tick in front of Joe Brocato, hardest working man in sports.
That's right. Well, you've got some time to digest that win last night. West Virginia advanced. For those who may not know, if you missed it, Mountaineers beat Kansas State 4-2. And Kevin, West Virginia's best players were West Virginia's best players last night. Gavin Kelly led off the game, or I should say in the bottom of the first at least, hit a home run, his 13th of the year. And Max Yale pitched like the Big 12 Conference Pitcher of the Year with 7 strikeouts. Didn't seem to have maybe A++ stuff, but as good pitchers are wont to do, he figured out a way to get people out and win the game.
Yeah, that was one thing that Kansas State manager Pete Hughes said, that he didn't think Max had his best fastball. Max was, pretty, I don't want to say quiet, but, said he thought he was pretty good with everything. I think the biggest difference was he had his off-speed stuff, his sliders, other stuff that he could go to get strikes. He could throw those for strikes. I think he was at about 65, 66 strikes percentage. So, that was all good enough. Made one mistake that got hit for a 2-run homer. And West Virginia, again, really good on defense, especially in the outfield. Ran down 3 or 4 deep drives that, in a lot of other parts would be either home runs or maybe gappers. But, like you said, they did what they do. They flashed what they do best and were able to get the win.
So West Virginia gets the 4-2 victory and moves on to the semifinal round tonight, Kevin. So start with West Virginia. What do we know about the pitching for this evening's game against Arizona State?
It's going to be Chance and Cole tonight, and they could bring back Ian Korn in relief if they needed to. They would also use Montesa if they needed to, and then, kind of leave Saturday for itself. I think the prevailing attitude, the game plan here is not to leave any, pitchers or players on the bench that could help you, with an eye toward, hey, what are we going to do tomorrow, or what are we going to do next week? So, I think it's open. You could see anybody, especially if Arizona State keeps hitting the way that it has. You don't want to let them get away from it, because they built a lead last night and were never really challenged. Chanson is on with what his stuff has been, and it's been, to be honest, close to what Max Yale's has been. He has pitched really well, so hoping to get another performance like that, keep Arizona State held down, and get a few runs on its side of the board.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kevin. You're just in a great spot with those two guys completing that thing last night and setting you up really nicely. It's interesting about Korn. I was diving into some of that later. We've only seen him go back-to-back this season one time, and that was back in mid-April when he did it against Texas Tech. Since the Houston series, he's averaged almost 7 days per appearance, or between appearances. So I'm interested to see how they use him, but you really don't even need him tonight necessarily, as you said, with Bassinger and Estridge waiting to go, and then that would set you up with Korn maybe a little bit longer tomorrow if you wanted to bring him back. So isn't that one of the fun parts of college baseball, though, especially when you're Steve Sabins? We're up here doing it like it's fantasy baseball, but he's working with some great pitchers and does have some options here with 2 games to go, hopefully, in this Big 12 tournament.
Yeah, it's not like some of the tournaments of the past where you're going, ooh, who's going to get the ball to start the game? And it's a redshirt freshman with, 12 innings all year or something like that. You've got guys that have done it all year, and, I don't think there's any of those players that you mentioned that you're hesitant to put in the game, probably 1 or 2 more. So you're right, it does set up pretty well, and you hope it plays out again like it did last night.
We had a typical West Virginia 2026 ball game, as we already mentioned. Yale on the mound, pitching well enough to win. Kelly hits a home run, but every player in the lineup got a base hit. We saw a couple of guys steal. Got a bunt down in the game. There was an error committed, but pretty much the defense was airtight, especially in the outfield, as you mentioned. So this was kind of a typical West Virginia performance, something we've grown accustomed to see.
Yeah, guys, Kevin, real quick, and including your catcher playing left field.
Right, yeah.
And Kevin, as you alluded to, him tracking things down there like he's a Gold Glove left fielder.
Definitely. And that error, I felt like Brody Kressler's backhand flip was pretty good. I think it was just one of those, hey, every once in a while you don't catch the ball kind of thing. Yeah, but that easily could have been a double play. It was set up that way. And the other thing I think that points out is just how close tournament games can be. I mean, from one perspective, West Virginia was kind of in control for most of the game, but from another, hey, one more K-State hit, one more double in the gap, one more whatever, and it's a whole new ball game in the late innings. So every play gets magnified.
So, Kevin, last night you said that West Virginia was likely already a regional host lock, whatever transpired. But with the victory, it seems like that is, certainly something that we don't even have to worry too much about. Would you agree that part of the story is over?
From every angle I look at it, yeah, I've got to think so. They're inside the top 20 in the RPI. They've got all the metrics that we've talked about. They've only got really one negative, that out-of-conference strength of schedule number. But, with these wins, getting to the semifinal, I just don't think there's any way that you keep them out unless somewhere on the committee they're looking and saying, okay, who between Kansas and West Virginia gets further, or does Oregon State's not playing a conference tournament, so they're kind of stuck where they are, which was one of the teams I think West Virginia is competing with. But, I think those are kind of small at this point. If West Virginia doesn't get in, there can be a legitimate there's going to be a legitimate major outcry.
Well, as there should be. But as we know, the NCAA committee does goofy things with West Virginia on the line, so I don't think we can take anything for granted. Hey, fellas, as a former college middle infielder, that, as you can imagine, Greg, I love the
glove flip,
and got yelled at multiple times for even trying it. Sometimes that ball just gets caught in the webbing there a little bit, and it throws it off. So my fellow Iowan, Brody Kresser, I still give him style points there for trying it. Hey, Kevin, let's talk a little bit about Gavin Kelly. The power surge continues. Another home run, as Kyle mentioned, in the first inning there. He's up to 13 now. That's 7 of them, starting with the K-State series, so they have come late. He is really swinging a bat, has a lot of confidence at the plate, and has turned into one of the best players in the country, hasn't he?
Oh, I don't think there's any question about it, and I think it's his outs yesterday that are just as impressive. He had 2 balls that he hit just as hard, if not harder, that outfielders were able to track down, that if they're, a couple of angles off one way or the other, those are going to be extra base hits. So, yeah, you just stay away from him. Don't say anything to him. Just keep doing what you're doing, Gavin, and, you're going to get a couple of those to fall.
So Gavin Kelly is maybe 1 in terms of hot players in the Big 12. Landon Harrison is 1A in terms of hot players in the Big 12. So Harrison homers again last night. That's his 28th, and he steals his 10th base of the year. So a guy that can do everything, 2 hits, 2 runs, couple of RBI, and West Virginia got a load of him during the regular season series. So we talked, Kevin, yesterday about the key to Kansas State was keeping D. Kennedy off base. The Mountaineers did that again. Now you got to deal with Landon Harrison and his 28 home runs.
Do you walk him 3 times quasi-intentionally? I mean, you sure do if first base is open, I think, if he's up. And West Virginia resorted to that a couple times late in the Arizona State series just to keep him from wrecking the game. If you're following solo homers don't beat you, you can probably try to pitch to him early, get him to hit one, get under one a little bit or something. But, yeah, for that, he's like Gavin Kelly. Opposing pitchers have to be careful. If you get anything over the plate, they're going to drive it.
Forecast looks pretty good for surprise for this evening. It's Arizona. It's what you would expect, right? 90s during the day, 80s this evening during game time. Yeah, it's just maybe a tick hotter right now. But, by the time West Virginia plays, 8 o'clock here, it's going to be nice. The last game last night was fine. I actually sat outside at a little place in the upper deck to work so I could keep an eye on the last game while I was putting everything together for our coverage of last night's game. And, I think it's going to be another one tonight, just exactly the same. There's just a couple wispy clouds, no chance of rain at all.
Guys, Chance and Cole on the mound for West Virginia tonight. I would assume we get Cole, a lot of Coles in this game, Cole Carlin for Arizona State, Kevin. He had the most starts for the Sun Devils this season, went 4 1/3, 8 hits, 3 earned runs against West Virginia in their win out in Tempe in Game 1. Only 29 earned runs given up in 14 starts, so you're going to have to work to get on this guy. Is that your anticipation, too, that you see Carlin tonight?
Yeah, I think it's for, and that's sort of a West Virginia profile, too. They've gotten a lot of base runners on this year, but at times have struggled to bring them home. They scored a lot against Arizona State. They hit the ball well when they were out here for the regular season series. So you hope it's, kind of a repeat of that. You can get some guys on, but get that next one there and be aggressive with it. Bunt it. There's, a couple pitchers I'm looking at or whatever might not have the best field coverage, might be falling off the mound a little bit. You got to take advantage of all those things when you get to this level. But, to be fair, that's what you expect. Hey, playoffs, on to the NCAAs. You're not going to face any really bad teams. They're just going to roll the bats out there and beat them up.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Kevin, we certainly appreciate your contribution to our show over the course of the last few nights, and enjoy the game tonight, and we'll talk to you again.
Definitely hope so, and hope we've got some more recapping going, and then next week at the NCAA.
Absolutely. Thanks. We appreciate it.
You are very welcome.
Kevin Kinder there, Blue and Gold News out in Arizona, covering the game for the Blue and Gold News. And again, tonight, 11 o'clock probably at the earliest.
Yeah.
The first game's set for 7:30, first pitch. So, there's if that goes as we expect and Kansas wins, probably get that game, West Virginia's game, started somewhere around 11 o'clock. Now, tomorrow night, if the Mountaineers win tonight and play in the championship game, that's a little bit more reasonable for us in the Eastern time zone. Championship game scheduled for 7:30 first pitch on Saturday. And also looking ahead to Monday, the NCAA Tournament Selection Show. Well, Greg, as you pointed out, the 16 seeds will be announced or 16 hosts will be announced on Sunday, and then the NCAA Selection Show Memorial Day, Monday at noon, and we will have a live show 6:06 on Monday on Memorial Day to react to West Virginia's selection and hopefully get somebody on to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll know Sunday if West Virginia's hosting, and if they're not, that Monday selection show is not going to be full with many happy Mountaineers. They'll still be in, but I think, Brad, that it's pretty much a moot point at this juncture by virtue of the victory last night. You certainly have to think West Virginia's going to host.
Should be in. I don't even think it's a question. I'm with you, but I've said that before and been wrong, so we will see. Guys, I'm hoping it's 11 o'clock tonight, given how late it was last night when that last game got underway. Let's hope it's 11, and
it may be closer to midnight
might
the
be
way
closer
it went
to
last
midnight.
night. Yeah,
exactly.
304 Talk 304, that's the text line. We're going to check in with Joe Brocato when we return. We assume he's dry. His shoes and socks are probably wet. He's probably squishing on the turf down there at University of Charleston Stadium, but we'll check in and see what transpired, how much they got in day one of the West Virginia State Track and Field Championships. Again, Glenville State won its game at Kutztown today. Actually, they split. They won game one of the Super Regional on Thursday and just needed one win today. Kutztown beat them in game one, but Glenville State won game two, so they're headed to the Division II College World Series. We'll get into that as well. We'll take a break. We've got more coming up on the Sportsline after this.
Answering a text or phone call while driving. Seems pretty harmless, right? But in the 5 seconds you took your eyes off the road to respond, you missed the girl riding her bike across the street. You missed the dog who darted into the road. And you missed the stop sign. And while it was just a ticket this time, it could have been worse. In fact, more than 700 people are injured in distracted driving crashes each day. Keep yourself and others safe. Don't drive distracted. Just drive. This message was brought to you by the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program.
The challenges facing today's workforce are real. Rapid change, new technology, and a growing skills gap. But there's a solution. WVU Parkersburg is partnering with local businesses to deliver customized training programs built around your needs. From advanced manufacturing and healthcare to emerging technologies and certifications, we help your team gain the skills to stay competitive. Businesses across our region are already making it happen. Visit WVUP.edu and start building a future-ready workforce today.
Boating season is almost here, and there's no better place to start your family's adventure than Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Family owned for over 40 years, Lou and his sons are West Virginia's largest Avalon pontoon dealer and true experts in boats, motors, and repairs. Explore their impressive inventory and score some of the best deals of the season right now. At Lou Wendell Marine Sales, they don't just sell boats, they sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com and get on the water in style. After all, the weekend's almost here.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide sports line returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Looking for a show that talks about everything? You found it.
By the way, I'm really happy to talk about this as opposed to Ryan's opinion that being a sports fan is a bad thing.
He said that it kept him from being stressed about it, not that it was a bad thing. They didn't have the stress. And, I mean, I've seen you pace.
Yeah, you're only 30 and you look like that.
So true. So
Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on MetroNews Television.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer golf coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
What does it mean to lead in medicine? J.W. Ruby Memorial Hospital is the top hospital in West Virginia, nationally recognized for 3 programs in 18 procedures and conditions. But to us, leadership means being first in care, in lives saved, in lives restored. In medicine, we lead in the ways that truly matter.
Sitting at Statewide Sportsline for Friday, Kyle, Greg, and Brad. We head to Charleston. We're just looking at the radar. It looks like it's cleared out of southern West Virginia in terms of the rain. Let's go there and ask Joe Brocato. Joe, what do we have here?
It's cleared out. The worst of the weather happened probably right at about noon when the meet was just getting started. That's when the heaviest rains, but no lightning, no thunder, kind of a steady, annoying rain throughout most of the day, but it's cleared out as the starting to see a little bit of breaks in the clouds as we're about 2 hours from finishing day one.
So we're expanded, I guess I should say, a 4-class state track championship for the first time. So how has that changed things?
Essentially, it's added about 2 hours on the front end and the back end of the tournament. So traditionally, competition began at 2 o'clock on Friday, and it would end at about 6. You're probably looking at, you had a noon start today, and you're probably looking at about a 7:30 finish on Saturday. So the officials have been able to, condense everything in so that there's not too much of an expansion of time, but it does still give the athletes the adequate amount of rest in between each event as needed.
So highlights so far, Joe?
Well, let's take a look at the team results. And on day one, Greg, you have a mix of athletes that are attempting to qualify. So you have some preliminary races for some sprint finals for tomorrow. And you have, obviously, a number of event finals as well. But here's where things stand in the boys' competition right now. The team leaders in each of the 4 classes. Wahama on the boys' side is a leader in Class A. Defending champion Doddridge County is the leader in Class AA. Kaiser has the AAA lead, and right now in Class Quad A, Morgantown and University tied for the top spot. On the girls' side, Wheeling Central currently leads in Class A. Defending champion Williamstown is the AA leader. Bridgeport leads in Class AAA, and Huntington is in front in Class Quad A. And again, you're looking at 18 events per class, and they're probably only going to get through about 6 event finals on the first day. So the team scoring picture really doesn't take shape probably until about midday tomorrow, but that's where things currently stand in the team competition.
Joe, we've seen some unbelievable high-level national caliber athletes at this event here over the years, especially in distance running. How about some names this year? Who are you watching? Who's either had good performances already today or you're paying attention to as you head into the finals tomorrow?
Well, there's one in particular, and I believe we've mentioned before, Mason Fletcher from Herbert Hoover High School, an outstanding distance runner who is already a multiple cross-country state champion. She had a tremendous state track meet here a year ago. She competed in the Penn Relays and had a runner-up finish, and we talked about the number of great athletes from West Virginia, the Irene Riggs and Josh Edwards that compete in the Penn Relays, which is a nationally recognized event. Fletcher will compete in the 3,200-meter run, which should probably start in about 20 minutes, and then she'll also compete in the distance competitions in the 8 and the 16 tomorrow. So Herbert Hoover obviously is expected to do big things in Class AAA, and Mason Fletcher, a big reason for that.
In terms of the weather today, with you say it's a nuisance rain, everything's slippery and wet, so how much did that affect times? How much did it affect distances? How much did it affect heights on the jumps?
Yeah, and talking with some of the coaches, it probably doesn't affect the runners as much as it does the field athletes. Now, in the pole vault, that was the one competition that was briefly delayed because when the rain was at its heaviest, obviously you don't want athletes going 10, 12, 13, 14 feet in the air when the conditions are not at their best. So I think the field athletes probably are a little bit more affected by the weather, but the schedule has been on schedule throughout the entirety of the day. They were able to make up some of the time that they lost on the pole vault, and everything is on schedule and expected to end at about 8:15 this evening.
What time things get started tomorrow?
9 o'clock start. The field events will be first up, and then at 9:30, the first running events will take place. And you're looking at probably about a 7 o'clock finish. And as I said, that's probably about an hour and a half later than the typical ending. But, for being able to condense all of the events in and not expand the footprint of the state meet too much, honestly, you probably wouldn't notice unless you're really, really looking at the schedule how the extra class really impacts things.
All right, Joe, well, we appreciate it. We'll look for your work a little bit later on tonight at WVMetroNews.com. And then again, day 2 tomorrow beginning at 9 a.m. Hopefully we'll have better weather conditions early in the day tomorrow. We appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Joe Brocato down at University of Charleston Stadium, Laidley Field, where the state track and field championship's underway. And again, expansion in this event to 4 classes, and then we're going to see big expansion over the course of the next 3 weeks. The softball expansion to 2 separate events, 8 teams in each class, still double elimination. So A and single A go next week, 3A and 4A go the following week, and then the big one, you've got a baseball tournament that has expanded 4 teams per class, a tournament that used to be played in 3 days with 9 games. Now it's spread over 8 days with 4 games per day.
Just hope for good weather. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, speaking of great high school track athletes, there's been so many of them. Drew Zundel's another one.
Mm-hmm.
And I mentioned Drew. He's been on this set since he was about 6 years old, Greg, right? How many times did Drew come visit us as he's interested in sports broadcasting? He's running now, former University High product there, is running now at Syracuse, all ACC performer. He's qualified for the NCAA tournament. So congratulations to Drew, the University High product, and friend of the show, Kyle, been here, intern. I think we can call him an intern, right? Didn't he?
He was.
Yeah, intern of the Sportsline.
Very good. Well, good luck to him in the NCAA tournament, no doubt. Okay, we have confirmed that we are going to have a guest from the super regional champ Glenville State softball team.
And we've got a good one. Delaney Warnick, who we've talked a lot about with Coach Schoon, is absolutely Gavin Kelly blistering hot, hitting the long ball. She was again in the super regional. So Glenville State's on its way back home. They're traveling now. We're going to hope to catch them while they take a little dinner break. Get Delaney on for a few minutes and talk about that win today.
That is all still to come on the CityNet statewide sports line. CityNet is West Virginia's local internet provider. High-speed, reliable fiber internet, probably right at your front door. Now is the perfect time to connect. Local customer support you can trust if you're working from home, if you're streaming, if you're gaming, if you're running your business. Fast, reliable fiber internet built for everyday life. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects.
Hey, this is Brad Howe for your local internet provider, CityNet. For years, rural communities in West Virginia waited for reliable, high-speed internet. Now, fiber is most likely at your front door. Public investment helped build the opportunity, and CityNet delivered the service to homes and businesses just like yours. With free equipment, free installation, no contract, and local support you can count on, switching to fiber has never been easier. Fast downloads, smooth streaming, better connections for work, school, and everyday life. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan, we are here for you.
I'm Sergeant R.A. Marsh.
And this is Trooper Goodman with the West Virginia State Police.
When working traffic across West Virginia, responding to crashes involving death or injury is the toughest part of our job.
Around here, we're experts at survival, so we know the importance of buckling up.
When you don't buckle up,
you increase your risk of dying in a crash.
Why do we enforce seatbelt laws?
It's not about writing tickets, it's about saving lives.
Come on, West Virginia, we can do this. Please, always buckle up.
A message from the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's MetroNews television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Happy Friday, meteorologist Todd Nelson here with your local forecast. We have that flood watch in place through 8 a.m. Saturday. To the west here, areas of very heavy rain and excessive runoff, but an unsettled weekend. But more importantly, we are picking up some much needed rain. The latest drought monitor released this Thursday showing that there is a pretty large chunk of West Virginia under that severe risk, even an extreme risk. Or at least extreme drought over parts of the Panhandle. There's our flood watch through 8 a.m. Saturday. This is over the next 7 days now. We could be talking about 1 to maybe even close to 3 inches of rain in some spots. So again, through our Friday afternoon and evening, more widely scattered showers and storms. Again, that flood watch in place through 8 a.m. Saturday to the west with that locally heavy rain. Time now for a Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home and just about every city expecting some unsettled weather. Precipitation through Sunday could be approaching an inch plus from Panhandle to Panhandle. Saturday morning waking up to the 50s and temperatures into the 60s and 70s. As we travel to the east, again, excessive rainfall is possible with some 1+ inch total amounts through Sunday. 40s for those overnight lows, daytime highs into the 50s, so definitely cooler. As we travel to the south and west, you can see those precip amounts approaching an inch, 50s and 60s overnight, with daytime highs Saturday approaching 80 to the south and west near Ripley and Spencer. And then farther south and west, again, Huntington, Wayne, Williamson, maybe an inch to nearly 2 inches with those overnight lows into the 50s and 60s as well. Madison, 80, same for Charleston. Here's our extended forecast, keeping the unsettled weather in place this upcoming weekend. And again, that much needed rain continues as we slide into next week, hopefully helping out with the drought situation.
CityNet statewide sports line. We're inside the Health Plan Studios. We're going to have a short segment here. We invite your text, 304 Talk 304. We'll tackle the text line and take a break and then try to hook up with Delaney Warnick of the Glenville State softball team as they're headed for the Division II World Series. Texter asked, do any of the WVU pitchers have a pitch count? Seems like there's a fine edge on how long you keep them in there. The pitch count is it floats. It varies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does.
Well, you know, the one thing I think Steve Sabins pays a lot of attention to is, I mean, he gets the data. So, I mean, he can see if their velocity is dropping. So I wouldn't say it's, 80 pitches, they're done. But at 80 pitches, he may see that's when their stuff starts to decrease.
Yeah, and we've seen Max a couple starts ago. He was up over 100 to close off that game in a complete game. So, yeah, you're right. You start to get up in that 80 range, and you start to look. And, again, these guys, Sabes in particular, you've been around baseball long enough, and West Virginia's pitching coaching staff, you can see, right? You start to leave pitches up in the zone when you normally don't. There's the telltale signs there, and you start to go. But, no, not a hard number at 85 you're coming out. It's nothing like that.
Yeah, so, there's no hard pitch count for any of them. It's more by feel. Texter says, with all the attention we've deservedly given to J.J. Weatherholt, Victor Scott, and Alek Manoah, has anyone mentioned that Isaac Collins, son of former Mountaineer Mike Collins, is with the Royals now? He was traded from Milwaukee to KC in the offseason. And we had Mike on last summer.
We've talked a lot about that over the time.
I'm not sure we've kept quite up with Isaac as much as we did last year.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair, but certainly have mentioned it. And this is, again, just like he was with the Brewers, playing well for the Royals.
So many Mountaineer connections in Major League Baseball now. It's hard to keep up nightly with all of them, Kyle, because it's just it's turned into a factory here. I know Isaac didn't play at WVU, but turned into a baseball factory here. It's hard to keep up.
Mom's from Bridgeport. Dad from Huntington, played at WVU. So, close West Virginia ties, though he grew up in Minnesota.
Same texter says, talk about the state track meet reminded me of Mike Collins. I remember seeing him compete at state for Huntington way back when. Now, would he have been a sprinter? Was he that fast?
He was a safety. He was a defensive back.
Okay.
So speed. I don't remember what events he ran back then. I went down years earlier when James Jett was running in the state track meet and covered it then. And that was just a different world. And he was, he ends up in it with a gold medal.
Yeah.
I think we know he was in a different class himself. I don't remember what Mike ran.
304 Talk 304 texter says, let's shoot for a midnight start live from Jeans. There's a plug-in for Jeans. Is Jeans going to be open at 3 a.m. when this game's over?
I guess that's true. There's a segment of the fan base that will be out and about probably tonight, hoping that gets them through the late night to stuff there.
Well, I guess that's the point.
Good for those.
I'll call Al Bonner, see if he's going to keep the place open.
Well, I think there'll be a few establishments around the state that'll have that game on late. That's a great point by the texter.
Till 3 a.m.
Sure.
All right, we'll take our final break here. We hope to hook up with Delaney Warnick of the Glenville State softball team coming up next. Stay with us. We're back to the Health Plan Studios as the CityNet statewide Sportsline continues.
Your heart deserves the best. And at the WVU Heart and Vascular Institute, you'll find world-class care without leaving West Virginia. Our cardiology experts offer everything from routine screenings to treatment for complex heart conditions. Using the latest diagnostic tools and minimally invasive procedures, we focus on your long-term health so you can stay strong for the moments that matter. Call 855-WVU-CARE or visit wvumedicine.org/heart.
Answering a text or phone call while driving. Seems pretty harmless, right? But in the 5 seconds you took your eyes off the road to respond, you missed the girl riding her bike across the street. You missed the dog who darted into the road. And you missed the stop sign. And while it was just a ticket this time, it could have been worse. In fact, more than 700 people are injured in distracted driving crashes each day. Keep yourself and others safe. Don't drive distracted. Just drive. This message was brought to you by the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program.
The challenges facing today's workforce are real. Rapid change, new technology, and a growing skills gap. But there's a solution. WVU Parkersburg is partnering with local businesses to deliver customized training programs built around your needs. From advanced manufacturing and healthcare to emerging technologies and certifications, we help your team gain the skills to stay competitive. Businesses across our region are already making it happen. Visit WVUP.edu and start building a future-ready workforce today.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan. We are here for you.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
You know CityNet is West Virginia's leading technology company. Whether we're managing IT infrastructures, protecting the critical data and networks of our region's businesses, or providing fiber broadband, TV, and phone services, we are your go-to experts. We're also a strong partner in the communities in which we serve. CityNet, your trusted technology partner. Learn more about us. Visit citynet.net.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
The Health Plan proudly supports our active and healthy communities and has been your most trusted carrier for over 40 years. Log on to healthplan.org for more information.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Friday night on the Sportsline. Thanks for joining us. Kyle Wiggs, Greg Hunter, Brad Howe. This is the CityNet Statewide Sportsline. We're inside the Health Plan Studios, and we're pleased to be joined by Delaney Warnick of the Glenville State softball team. Glenville State today up at Kutztown, Pennsylvania. They had won game one of the Super Regional on Thursday, so it's a best of three. Kutztown came out, won game one today, 7-3, forced the winner-take-all third game, and Glenville State wins it by a final of 7-3. And Delaney joins us. Good evening. Thanks for your time, and congratulations.
Thank you so much for having me.
Boy, we appreciate you coming on, and obviously everyone's excited. Everyone's giddy. What's the feeling like on that bus after accomplishing something the program has never done before? You're going to the World Series.
Oh, it's awesome. Everyone, it just feels so surreal right now. These are the moments you dream of whenever you're a little girl on the ball field, and to be going to the World Series, it's just a dream.
So, Delaney, what was the pressure like today? I mean, game one, you get out there, you know you only have to win one, but you end up falling in that first game, so you know it's winner take all for game two. What's the pressure like in that situation?
Honestly, I feel like at this point in the postseason, we don't really feel much pressure. In the MEC conference tournament, we played all the way out of the losers bracket. Same with the regional tournament. So, honestly, in the postseason, we've played best with our backs against the wall, and we knew that second game that we'd come out on top.
Delaney, we've talked to Coach each of the last couple of weeks, and one thing that always stands out, and she always brings it up, is how great the chemistry is with this group. And I know winning certainly helps chemistry, but it sounds like the reverse has been true with you guys, that the great chemistry you have has led to a lot of this winning. What makes this team so close?
Honestly, we're so similar personality-wise. They're just such great girls. Win or lose, we have each other's back, and we're friends throughout it all, no matter the outcome of the game.
Yeah, you talk about kind of having nerves of steel and not be. I was a nervous wreck watching that today. The bases were loaded in the sixth, and they threatened in the seventh. But again, you have your confidence in your pitcher. Kylie Burdick was out there trying to finish it off, and it was there was no panic, there was no nervousness among you or the coach or anybody. Where does that come from?
Honestly, we know that no matter what, the person behind us will step up and make a play when needed. If Kylie Burdick gives up a hit, we know that the defense is going to have her back, and we look at her and we say, just keep throwing your game, just keep doing you. We got your back on defense.
So, Delaney, what about yourself? I mean, you've been good all year, but you've been incredibly hot in recent weeks. Do you feel that? I mean, is there a different thought process that goes through your mind when you come to the plate? And does anybody ever even pitch to you anymore?
Well, actually, in the regional championship game, I got walked every single time against Charleston, so I've been getting walked a little bit more recently, but I wait for a mistake to be made, and I just stay focused throughout it all, because if they do pitch me a strike, I want to get a good piece on it.
Well, they're smart. You hit 6 home runs just in the MEC tournament this year. And of course, they're pitching around you. But let's talk about that. Where has the power? Why has that jumped so much? You had 10 home runs last year, and this postseason, you have that number. Well, why has the power jumped so much? What are you doing differently?
I feel like I'm a lot more focused. I'm keeping things more simple in the batter's box rather than like focusing on mechanics or like guessing what they're going to throw me. I'm kind of just waiting for my pitch and waiting to get that good pitch that I could get a good piece off of.
So see-ball, hit ball's working pretty well for you here?
Yep, just keeping it simple in there.
Yep.
This group's been together for a while. By my count, you're 51-17 now and super regional champs. So when you gathered in February, when this season started, was this the expectation? Did you think this was the team that's going to get it done?
For sure. Obviously, you don't want to look that far ahead that early on, but we had a great group of girls, and obviously our goal every year is to start winning the conference tournament and then just go from there.
Delaney, your story. You grew up outside, or at least went to high school outside of Pittsburgh, just south of Pittsburgh and Perryopolis. So what got you to Glenville?
It was actually my fellow teammate Kylie Goodman, our third baseman. I grew up playing travel ball with her for about 8 or 9 years, and she was being recruited by Coach Schoon. Coach came to watch her one day, and that's when she found me.
Delaney, Coach has talked about the depth of this pitching staff, and that was on display today with Kylie. And if she's sitting around you, you can tell her that all three of us separately were screaming at the computer about the strike zone. We thought it got squeezed a bunch.
Squeezed.
You don't have to comment. I don't want you to get fined or suspended here, but we thought that zone got squeezed a little bit. But talk a little bit about how good Kylie was today. That gritty, gutty effort there at the end to stay in, 136 pitches thrown, and kind of exemplifies your staff, what they've done all year, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Her mental toughness really showed in that game. I kept looking at her after some of those calls were made, and I just kept saying, the ball doesn't lie. Just keep throwing your game. We'll play defense behind you and make a play for you.
So, Coach Schoon, with obviously we've gotten to know her the last couple of weeks on the show, and it's been a highlight of the year talking to her, just with her positive nature and the way she approaches things. And, of course, she was at the World Series as a player. So how much has that meant? Her experience, how has she guided your group through this to the World Series?
Oh, it's awesome. Obviously, like you said, she's been there, done that. And the way she motivates our team, she really knows how to lead this team and get us ready for a game, get us in the right mindset to just focus and play good ball.
So has anybody talked about what the schedule's like now before you guys head to Chattanooga? I assume classes are in the semester is over at Glenville?
Yeah, we do have some summer classes. I think some of us are in starting on Tuesday, but as of right now, it's kind of just go with the flow, go from there.
Yeah, put those classes on hold for a
summer
minute.
classes,
you can make those back up. Hey, if you'll do us a favor, tell Coach Schoon we didn't want to wear her out too much, but because of superstitious reasons, we will have her back on next week. So when you get off, make sure you let her know we're going to be coming back to her next week, and we'll talk to you guys before you play in the World Series, okay?
Sounds good.
Hey, what was the meal? Did they splurge a little bit? What's a World Series meal like?
Oh, well, right now we're at Chick-fil-A. My team just went in to get some food there, so we've been eating there after every win.
Okay,
see,
so
superstition. There you go.
You're
Don't
right,
change
superstition.
Keep going. We'll let her get in there.
Yeah,
and eat.
exactly. We appreciate you putting off your meal for a few minutes to visit with us, and again, congratulations and best of luck in the World Series.
Thank you so much for having me again.
Thanks. And again, Glenville State, the softball team headed for the World Series. Delaney Warnick there coming into the Super Regional. She was hitting .391, had 18 home runs, 68 RBI, and she talked about the walks, a team-high 30 walks drawn this year. Again, those numbers heading into the Super Regional.
Yeah, just a great story. And I wasn't exaggerating that. She has as many home runs here in the postseason as she did all of last season. So she is mashing and has really come into her own. And that's a team that's playing its best ball right now. How about the confidence that group has headed into Tennessee next week for the World Series?
Yeah, and you've been around coaches. It starts from the top down. It starts from the leadership. And we could tell just by visiting with her for a couple of times that the elite level leadership.
Yeah, she's clearly a rising star in this business and has this group rowing in the right direction. As she talked about with us, guys, it's some of that chemistry. And isn't that always a great debate? Does the chemistry come before the wins? Does the winning breed the chemistry? It's all interrelated. But it's very much a Ross Hodge-ism as well. Recruit the chemistry, right? John Beeline was wonderful at that. He would pass on some talented guys because he didn't think they fit in the locker room. So we've seen that. And more often than not, that turns into teams that win when you get the right character kids that all row in one direction. And the Lady Pioneers softball team certainly doing that right now.
We've got time for text here. The final few minutes of the show. 304-TALK, 304 texter says, I remember seeing James Jett run too. That's something you don't forget.
No, certainly saw him at West Virginia, but I remember state track meet. You didn't get a false start. False start was a disqualification because he could have blistered through in an incredible time. He sat in the blocks on the 100 for about 4 seconds to make sure he didn't get DQ'd and still won the race by 10 yards.
Brad, I know we got another softball story to talk about today.
We do, and in the category of always a West Virginia connection. So, big softball weekend coming up here with the Super Regionals at all levels. Division I kicked in last night and then heavily today with a bunch of different games. So one of the series I was watching today, Game 1, Texas Tech and Florida going at it. That was a high-profile game. It was at Florida. They're hosting the Super Regional. That game's tied 8-8 in the 7th inning when Texas Tech hits a 2-run homer to take the lead 10-8. That would ultimately hold up, and they would win Game 1. Couple connections. That home run came from Jason Williams, White Chocolate's daughter, hit the home run to give Texas Tech the win. She had transferred from Florida. She had played at Florida the year before, had transferred to Texas Tech, returned to Florida, and hit the home run. The second part of that story, there was a little verbal altercation in the stands that Jason was involved in, claims that a Florida fan threw something at his daughter on the field, got into it with the fan. Security briefly removed Jason from the game reportedly. They got it sorted out, went back into the stadium, got the fan that threw it, threw the fan out, brought Jason back into the game, and then his daughter homers in the 7th to give Tech the win in that one.
So justice prevails.
Sounds like justice prevailed.
On the field and off.
Yeah. Isn't that a wild story, though?
That's incredible. With the ties, again, tying back to West Virginia. And this Glenville State story, it's amazing. Sports is amazing, right? Because 2 or 3 weeks ago, we follow the Mountain East Conference athletic leagues. You kind of pay attention to who's doing well and, the possibilities of postseason play. Okay, so you see Glenville State, and they're having a great season. They make the regionals for the first time. That's a story. Here we are 3 weeks later, and I'm watching the game today and yelling at the screen like my daughter's playing or something. Totally invested.
I wasn't kidding when I said to Delaney we were screaming about the strike zone on there. We're totally in. And again, it's another illustration, and we've talked about this a lot, and you're right. We cover this league. We know this league. We know somebody at multiple people at all of the schools, just a lot of great people in this league. But it's yet another sport really doing a lot, right? We've seen basketball over the years with Fairmont State to the national championship, West Liberty in men's basketball right to the national championship game. This Glenville team with Kim Caldwell wins a national championship. We can go on and on about the success this league has in all of the different sports, and it really covers all of them. And now here's softball with Glenville going for a world championship.
Texter on the Glenville State situation. Love seeing the job Schoon, Delaney, and the Lady Pioneers are doing. Now we have to wonder how long before someone swoops in like they did for Kim Stevens. They'll be calling for sure. That's something we've kind of halfway joked about off the air, as that she might be coaching at a different level this time next year.
Well,
never know.
I think you could do a lot worse than hiring her in our interactions and results we've had with Coach Schoon. She's certainly a rising star in the business.
No doubt. Okay, so Joe Brocato is at the state track and field meet. You can read his recap of day one a little bit later on at WVMetroNews.com. Something else that was released today on this Friday is the rankings, the seedings, and the matchups for the state softball tournament. And so we have those. Those are all at the website as well. Again, the AA and the single A games will be played next week starting on Wednesday. So Wahama's the top seed in single A. You've got Sherman number 2, Ritchie County number 3, Wheeling Central in there at 4, Pendleton County 5. Number 6 is Man, 7 Greenbrier West, and 8 is East Hardy. Class AA, this will be a very competitive bracket with Logan number 1, Petersburg, who gets there a lot, number 2, Sissonville number 3, Weir number 4. They've dropped down from AAA to AA, a contender certainly in AA. Oak Glen is number 5. They're the defending champs as they won the state championship last year. Independence at number 6, Lincoln at 7, and Midland Trail at number 8. It's been a while since Midland Trail's been to the state tournament. So those are the seedings for Class AA and Single A. The games we'll see next week. Again, the brackets are available for AAA and 4A if you go to WVMetroNews.com. So check that out. Hey, another West Virginia connection. Tiani Kelly named Kennesaw State women's basketball head coach, former University of Charleston coach.
Yeah, good for her. So she joins Becky Burke in that realm as well, who's doing a great job out at Arizona now, former Charleston women's basketball head coach.
So
congratulations, Coach Kelly.
She did wonderful things, got to regionals there at University of Charleston and moving up to the next level at Kennesaw State. Well, we hope everybody got their naps in. Brew a little coffee.
Because you still have at least 4 hours, maybe longer,
get
before
a good
first
nap
pitch.
in.
Yeah, you can get a nap. That's a good point. You get your nap in now and wake up at 11 o'clock and head on down to Jean's and watch the game tonight.
Or wherever you may enjoy a beverage or dinner.
Absolutely. All right, so 11 o'clock scheduled first pitch tonight, West Virginia and Arizona State, the Big 12 championship game tomorrow night at 7:30. Greg and Travis will be back Sunday. We'll know for sure if West Virginia's hosting, and then again a live show on Memorial Day, Monday night at 6:06. We'll know the matchup, and hopefully we'll have some analysis on West Virginia and the NCAA tournament. Enjoy the games this weekend, guys. Thanks. We'll talk to you again next week. Thanks for listening, watching the CityNet Statewide Sportsline.
From the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet Statewide Sportsline is an exclusive production of the MetroNews Radio Network.
All rights reserved.